Hey ladies, happy new year. Today is Sunday, January 3rd, 2021. Um, we did it. We made it. We're here. Uh, a new year. Um, so goodbye to 2020, which was an interesting year, and I'm still grateful for many things that happened in 2020. So it wasn't a complete write off for me, but I'm happy to be in a new year and looking forward to everything that 2021 brings. Trying to go into this new year with a mindset of being grateful and for everything, big things, small things, in between things, and also with a mindset of just looking at things in a positive way, which hasn't always been easy for me because I tend to be somewhat pessimistic, and I'm trying to turn that around and be an optimist. So let's see how long I can keep that up. It's not a resolution, it is just a way I am trying to be going forward. I actually started this process in 2020, so I'm just hoping to continue it. So anyway, I wanted to on the mindset of being positive. I wanted to talk about baby or toddler sleeping, lack of sleeping, whatever. So I'm not good with schedules. I'm not. I haven't ever been great with keeping a baby schedule. I used to see, especially when she was a newborn, all these what my daily newborn schedule looks like videos and all this, and that wasn't me. I'm not like that. I don't really I'm not like every minute of the day is scheduled. Baby went to sleep exactly at 1:32, and I mean that because that didn't happen with us. She doesn't always go for a nap at the same time, even if she did wake up for the same at the same time. And when she was younger, it was roughly every 2 hours. Now that she is, well, Michaela will be 18 months on Friday. It's roughly every 3.5 to 4 hours she goes to sleep, maybe between 3 and 4 hours. Let me put it that way. I think it's supposed to be like three and a half. I sometimes it gets extended out to 4, especially because I am working from home. So I try to do as much as I can to keep her on schedule while still accomplishing what I need to do in a day. Um, but some days she gets 2 naps, some days she gets 1 nap. I know that by 18 months, and maybe even a little earlier, they can start transitioning to just 1 nap. I find on days where she has 1 nap, the later part of the day ends up being a little more filled with antics, I guess, because she's a little more tired. I do think that we can still do 2 naps, at least for us, because I feel like for the second, it depends what time the naps are. If she takes, so Michaela usually wakes up around 8:30 in the morning, um, and that's because we're home, so we're working from home. I've usually already started work by that time, and so has my husband. We let her sleep until 8:30, but she doesn't go to bed until late. I don't know how we got there. Somehow we got to this place where she doesn't go to bed until like 10:30, maybe 11, sometimes 11:30. One time it was 1:30, but that was because she was just having a fit, and I was trying to sleep train unsuccessfully. Yeah. Generally she's in bed around, I say, anywhere between 10:30 and 11:30, which is a lot later than I'd like it to be, but it's just the way the day usually works out, and it's pretty consistent that she goes to sleep around that time. And on days where I get her to sleep earlier, even like 9, which occasionally happens, that she ends up waking up several times in the middle of the night. I don't know. It's weird. Um, but there's no rhyme or reason for what her sleeping habits are. I find that it just is what it is. So, so yeah, so she She gets up around 8:30. She may take a nap. Generally around between 11:30 and 12, she's down for her nap. And it depends how long that nap lasts or how long I let it last. Like she could be back up by 1:30. If she's up by 1:30, she definitely needs another nap by the end of the day. Even if she was going to sleep in a more like 7 p.m., she'd still need another nap because that's like 6 hours. But if she sleeps, and if I allow her to sleep until sometimes she sleeps till 2:30, sometimes she'll sleep till 3. So if she takes a nap from around 12 to 3, which is 3 hours, she's not getting another nap. Even though by the time she goes to sleep, it may have been some time. It's too late to put her, because I'd be putting her down for another nap around like 6:30. And I will say I have given her naps later. She has taken like naps at like 5. But I don't usually do naps at 6:30. It's too late. And when she does a nap at 5, it's usually a short nap, maybe like 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. Um, it's the latest she's ever taken a nap. I think it's been like 5:30, and I try not to make them a habit because she doesn't go to sleep at 7. So, if you're someone who the baby needs to be in bed by 7, 8, then you have to do something totally different. Like we have just found our way into this schedule, but I think, like I said, it also has to do partially with me working at home. So, I let her sometimes sleep. If I'm extra busy at work, I'll let her sleep. If she's going to stay asleep, I'll let her stay asleep. And then, I'll try to work during that time as much as possible. And so it is what it is. And then afterwards, I'm trying to play with her or make dinner, and then we end up with these late schedules. But, it works for us. So, you got to do what works for you. But what's not working is not necessarily for me the time she goes to bed, even though I would like to get that to like 9-ish, but I don't know if that's going to happen. My issue is more so she still sleeps in the bed with us, and I've been trying to break that. I've been trying to sleep train. Sometimes I get so frustrated where I'm just like, you know what, you need to go to sleep, and I'll put her in her crib and I'll let her cry. But I'm such a pushover when it comes to that, because she starts hyperventilating and doing this choking thing, or like sounding like she's choking on mucus, and I just can't. And I know it's a performance, because when I take her out, it doesn't stop immediately. Sometimes it's still sniveling that lasts for a while, but the bulk of the antics stop. But I just can't. I shouldn't say that. Got to be positive, right? So I really need to focus on staying with sleep training. But it's hard. It's hard to listen to your baby cry like that. It's hard to just be okay with it, and I haven't been able to do it. And what has happened though is that she probably has me more trained, because she knows if she acts this way, then eventually she gets taken out of the crib and she's back in the bed with us. And it's a non-ending cycle. And so I'm just having such a hard time committing to sleep training. And I don't know if I know many people do it, but then I've spoken to people who are like, I didn't sleep train my baby, just did this stuff on his or her own. And I'm like, well, great for you and your perfect baby. But I don't know. Like, I don't think that's the bulk of babies. And it's hard to sleep with her in the bed all the time. Not just because she sleeps wild, because she kind of does, but also because, mainly because I just don't want her in the bed with me anymore. I never really did. I mean, I wanted her to sleep always in her crib, which is why she I bought one. If I did want her to sleep with me, she wouldn't have a crib. I'm saving money. She wouldn't have a crib. And then when she got older, or when I was ready to transition her to toddler bed, I'd buy one of those, toddler beds and put her in that. So, but she has a crib that converts to a toddler bed, that converts to a full-size bed. So you never have to buy another bed, even though you have to buy more mattresses. for the full size, but you never have to buy another bed. Da, 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 da. I mean, that's what I was hoping to accomplish. But I guess I've seen too much TV, and very rarely do people talk about sleep training on TV. So I thought, perfect little baby sleeps in her crib. Anyway, so it's not happening. And then right now, the longer you go without sleep training, I feel like maybe the harder it is, but I don't know. It was hard when she was younger. When I've tried it several times. It's just always failed miserably, and I haven't been consistent. When she was younger, and um, I tried it, but I couldn't let a little baby cry, right? It was like, I can't have my little baby screaming. So I picked her up, and I was like, when she gets older, I'll do it. And then when she got older, and it's just never happened. And it's always been an excuse. And even now I think, okay, well, maybe when she's 2 and we can have more of a understanding, then maybe I'll do it. But I'm sure then I'll be on some other, God help me, I don't know. And not just sleep training, like I have to still rock her to sleep, and that's like the worst. And if she would sleep, and she would sleep in, even if she was sleeping in my bed, and she would just go to sleep without rocking, I think it would be a lot easier for me. I think it would be. I think that, I don't know if it would be, but I think, because the rocking is just, it's horrible. Like, I can't even find words to express how horrible it is to still be rocking her 18 months or 17 months, but she'll be 18 months on Friday. Ugh. But anyway, so that's where we are. And I'm not really sure what to do about it, except maybe just really refocus and try to force her to sleep in the crib and really stick to sleep training. But see, the thing about sleep training is it's not just a one time they go to sleep. Well, okay, the times when I've let her cry herself to sleep and I felt successful, she'd wake up maybe an hour, maybe several hours crying again. And then we're starting the process again. So it's like a continual thing. It wasn't a one time, oh, she sleep, so we won, she'll sleep for the rest of the night. No, especially being in her crib, she's most likely not going to sleep for the rest of the night. So then we're starting the process again, at 2 or whenever, 2 o'clock in the morning, whenever she gets up. Crying, I have to, just ignore the crying until she goes back to sleep. So essentially, it is a night where you have to just commit to not really getting any sleep. And that could be okay if in the long run you get sleep. And they claim the next night is easier. I've never made it to the next night. And that's probably my fault. So I've never made it to the next night. And maybe if I had, she would be further along in this process. But it feels so torturous for her and me. And, my husband doesn't really love it. And I'm the one saying we have to do it. And he's the one, no, it's traumatizing to her. And so I'm the one saying we have to do it. And yet I really don't want to do it either. So I don't know. But anyway, I think part of the reason she might not be sleeping so well also is because she is teething. And so Michaela has all of her bottom teeth, with the exception of some people call them 3-year-old molars. So she has, the canines at the bottom. She has the first set of molars at the bottom. So I think I don't know when she'll cut the last molars. Of course, they say it happens closer to 3. So I don't know. But she has, if that's the case, she has all of her bottom teeth other than that last set of molars. At the top, she has the 4 in the middle. She's cutting the canine, the upper left canine. And she's also cutting the first set of molars on both sides up top. So she's not cutting right now the upper right canine, but I'm sure it'll come soon. And so right now, she is cutting 3 teeth. 2 of them are molars. And I do think that could be affecting how she is sleeping. Maybe. Because she is cutting the molars, I hear, can be difficult. So, I'm trying to remember back to when she cut the first set on the bottom, because she cut them roughly at the same time, both right and left. I'm trying to remember whether we were going through any waking up in the middle of the night issues or something like that back then, but I don't know. I can't recall. It's all a blur. She actually started cutting all of the teeth, the 3 teeth that she's cutting now in December. So, well, of course, it's only January 3rd. So, around Christmas, she started cutting the, a little bit before Christmas, she started cutting the canine and then one molar, and then immediately thereafter, the second molar. So, I'm sure that's painful on her, and I should probably like cut her some slack or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any magic teething remedies. Nothing really worked that we could find, and the only thing that was I was using the Zarbee's teething gel, and now I only have a little bit of that left, and I can't even find it really anymore. But I haven't looked too tough for it because the reality is I wasn't sure if it actually helped. I felt like the gel, she would just suck the gel off, and it was hard to get it on the area. It never really. So I don't know, but anyway, so that's where we are now. I have absolutely no answers. I'm just full of questions, but we try to stay positive and shrug along. New year, so. But that's where I am, ladies. Just an update. And if anyone has any magical suggestions, I'm all ears. Until then, again, Happy New Year, and I will talk to you soon.